Morning, Todd. How you doing today?
Pretty well, John. How about yourself?
I'm doing good out here in spring in California. You look like you are in front of a roller coaster. Where are you?
Well, I'm actually in Western Pennsylvania.
Oh,
I do wish I was on the roller coaster that you see behind me down at Universal Studios there in Florida, but alas, I got to be in the office today.
I know
So,
you're a roller coaster fan. I know that.
yes.
So you came to Full Access last year in 2025 in Los Altos, right?
Mhm. Correct.
Good. And tell me what most impressed you about it. What did you get out of that the most? Maybe give me the one, two, or three things that were the best for you.
Okay. Well, I would say what impressed me probably would be just the quality of the sessions. That was one of the things when you walk into an unconference, especially for the first year of an unconference where the content is driven by the people that attend, you're never sure what you're going to get. And I thought every session I attended had something that I was able to take out of it, whether it
Nice.
was a beginner session or something a little bit more advanced in the skill level.
Mm-hmm.
The presenters made it very approachable, and it wasn't, 10 people talking all about the same thing. There was also a wide variety of topics. So I thought that was a great thing too. Even though there were only two time slot or two sessions per time slot, I still had trouble picking which one I was going to go see.
Right. I imagine the old days when there were four or five at a time and you know you're going to miss something. That's why we try to keep it a
Yeah.
simpler thing with two, maybe three tracks. Anything else you got? What was it like for you, like with interacting with the people? Was it a good atmosphere?
Oh, it was great. That's probably my biggest like takeaway.
Hmm.
The thing that I enjoyed the most because for me, FileMaker has always been as much about the community as it is about the platform,
Yeah.
which I think is very different for like other development languages and that kind of thing.
Right.
And I'd been to the engages, but I had missed that experience from the DevCons of ages past. And so this was probably as close to a DevCon experience that I've been able to have
Oh,
since the last the last DevCon slash first engage there back in Orlando in what 2019 now.
yeah. I
So
remember 2019. Isn't that what's special about this FileMaker community is the sense of generosity, kindness, friendness, and that people all help each other out and build relationships, unlike like any other community I've been in.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with those communities, but
Hmm.
I've I just people have told me that yeah, FileMaker is a little different, and that's a good thing. We all might be competing for the same work, but we all are friends outside of that, which is really
Exactly.
cool.
Yeah. So I understand you're planning on coming to full access this year, 2026, right?
Correct?
We're going to hold it again at the Jesuit Retreat Center because it's affordable, it's close to Claire's headquarters, and people seem to like it, right?
Oh, for sure. It was a great venue.
What are you most looking forward to at the event?
Again, probably goes back to the whole community thing. There's a group of people that I label as my FileMaker friends
Yeah.
that, I might only see at a conference because they live, all around the country, all
Hmm.
around the world in some cases. And so just, I made some great friendships or got to have some deeper conversations with people last year that I knew of, but I didn't really know.
Ah,
And so the chance to be able to see them and then even make, new friends. So that's certainly something that I'm looking forward to. And then again, just FileMaker keeps advancing, what it allows you to do. So it's like you got to keep learning if you want to keep up. So kind of those two things. And I have to admit, I am looking forward to another round of the Jeopardy.
oh, good. We're going to have Jeopardy. We're going to have a couple other games too. We're looking at building a Wheel of Fortune and having a Family Feud game. And there's yet another one that's kind of a surprise that we're looking at. So there'll be some fun interactions at night. So
Very nice.
I understand you're going to be speaking this year, right?
That's correct. I've got one session, the framework of one session, I'll say, that I'm hoping to be able to present for sure.
Tell
So.
us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's one that I call we're leaning back into the get functions. It's get what's new.
Oh,
And it's
nice.
where I just go through all the new features, whether they're the ones that are like the top of the list or just a subtle update to a plugin or a library or
Uh-huh.
something that people need to be aware of. I've done similar presentations in the past on similar topics,
You have.
and have really enjoyed preparing for it because it forces me to learn all the new things too, at least to be able to say, hey, this is available whenever you run into a problem that maybe this will solve it. Here's what it is and a little bit to know about it. And, just try to go through as many of these new features as possible in the time that's allotted. And
Right.
hopefully everybody gets something out of it.
I remember being at Engage in 2024, a couple years ago, when you gave a session there in Austin on the new features. And I told you at the time, and I still stand by it, that you were the best speaker at the whole conference. That was the best session. It was paced well. It had good light comedy involved in it, but you had wonderful slides. And you stepped through it with analogies and clarity and focus in such a way that I, being a bit ADHD, was able to focus really well, and I got more out of that than any other session. And so I know you're a really good speaker. We're really looking forward to that.
Well, I appreciate that. And hopefully I'll be able to catch lightning in a bottle a second time, as it were. That's
No pressure. You're
right.
there to have fun and socialize with people
Yeah.
and give your best. And that session is really powerful. And I think that alone will make people want to come and attend that. That's great. Um, In what ways, if any, do you think we could improve the professionalism of the event and at the same time maintain that sense of closeness and friendship we were able to do at our smaller event last year? Because we know it's going to be bigger this year, right? So how can we make it more professional and at the same time maintain that closeness of spirit? What would you say?
Oh boy, that is a tough question
Mhm.
because as someone on the outside looking in, I thought you and the rest of the organizers and staff that you put together, the volunteers that were putting on the event, it was already very professional feeling.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
from my perspective, like I said, other than the size, because it was a smaller size,
Hmm.
is that as I mentioned earlier, it really felt like a DevCon.
Wow.
From the way that it was run and things were happening on schedule. I mean, obviously there was a few technical issues that came up, but I mean, you have that at any event. It doesn't matter what it is. So I don't know that I can really give you any suggestions there other than to keep up the good work,
Oh, well,
as it were.
thanks.
Um, and then I think as far as, attracting new people, I think it just comes down to, getting the word out. And then also mobilizing, people like me that have been there to make
Right.
sure that we're spreading the word
Hmm.
in, our communities, whether it's, through coworkers or, the local, user meetup groups, just to, spread the word and, kind of evangelize and say, if you're not coming, you really should.
Exactly. We have a lot of movies coming out, and we have got a ticker tape that runs at the bottom saying, if you're a FileMaker developer in the community, really think you don't want to miss this event to help spread the goodness and sharing the sense of community that we already have in place, something like that. So, but thank you for the compliments. This is our second year, so we learned a lot the first year. A lot of us are new at this, and we're going to be compensating for whatever mistakes we made and improve the technology and just kind of expand it and try to make it more professional and grow it in size. It's a wonderful challenge, and I'm glad you're coming. Really,
Yeah.
anything else you want to add?
Just, I guess, one other comment that I had is just, as people are watching this, one of the things that I really liked is, you guys were able to walk that line between having time set aside for learning,
Hmm.
but then also setting time aside for, the connection piece, the building of the community and everything. I know I did not take advantage of it as much because I was, you know, giving a presentation the next day. So it's like, oh, I better skip tonight so I can go back and do that final rehearsal that everybody wants to have before they present anything. But I was able to make it up to the top of the hill the one evening and just had a great time, talking with everybody that was there. And so just the way that you guys had structured that, because obviously, especially if your company's paying for you to come, you want to make sure you're getting value out of it so you feel
Right.
like you really got to learn things. Um, but then, again, building that community is important too. And I feel like you guys, in your organization did a nice job of allowing both of those things to happen in adequate amounts, where it wasn't just a 15 minutes between
R-
sessions is all the time you get kind of thing.
Right.
It was very intentional about, making those connections.
We plan on improving that this year. So for one thing, we're limiting all session lengths to 1 hour, right? With an overflow with a half an hour between them. And some might go a little short, some might go a little long, so there's a buffer there. But we're offering plenty of breaks, and we're making this a full almost 4.5 day event, so that as many sessions as we can pack in, and at the same time have enough space for ample time for breaks, socializing. I mean, there's 30 acres of hiking trails out the door of the conference hall. We want to make sure people get a time to relax, enjoy nature, socialize a little. So we're going to just make the sessions 1 hour or less and have more breaks and have a little more time to stretch it out. We're going to try to make it a little more relaxing without compromising the amount of content that you get. And now this year, because we have so many sponsors and like you, senior developers, there's going to be even more wonderful sessions than last year. Some people are teaming up and giving too. We're doing several panel sessions that are going to be happening on things like AI and JSON. So we hope it to be even richer, but have a little more time to relax. So yeah, it's a balancing act. You're right. But I think this year you're going to find it a few steps even better. Anything else you want to add, or shall we just give you time to prepare your session so it's great in about 4 months from now?
I think, yeah, I don't have anything else. So looking forward to seeing you again in person, and
Yeah.
then everybody else on the team and everybody that attends. So
I want to tell you, Todd, you are really well respected and appreciated this event. Everybody's really happy. I'm really happy that you're coming. You are an important part of this whole thing. Do not think anything less. We're not just happy to have you, but you actually bring richness to it that contributes to making it a full event. So we're all really happy that you're coming. You should know that.
all right. Well, thank you very much. Can't
Okay.
wait.
We'll see you soon. Thanks for joining me for a little while.
All right. You're very welcome, John. Take care.
Bye.